Hello everyone, welcome to Mars Karma's All Signs. On the video I'm discussing for you the sign position of Mars in your chart. What does this tell us about your courage, your desire and your ambition, and indeed your achievements in life? All the information is on the video. If you are new to my channel, sub below. Let's begin. So who exactly is Mars and what are the Mars karmas in our chart? Mars is known as Mongol in the Vedic system, and he is associated strongly with Kartikeya, who is the general of the army of the gods. So Mars is definitely representing action, violence, war, the element of fire, which is of course purifying also. In the modes of nature, Mars represents Rajas or passion, and the point of Mars is of course to create action in this material world because of our innate desires. But Mars is malefic in nature. Why is this? Don't we need to act out in the world? Don't we need to get things done? Sure we do, but the problem is when we are overcome with our desires, we forget about God. We forget who we are. We forget why we are here. We forget we are even in a prison house. So Mars can deceive us into thinking we are in control when we are actually being controlled by the very modes of material nature he represents. Therefore, when we fall down into the Mars karmas in a negative way, we can end up in the worst possible situation in this material world where none of us actually want to go at all. Therefore, Mars is malefic because he is not taking us towards the purer actions and the liberated state. But to live successfully in this material world, we need to energize our Mars in a positive way. Otherwise, we are just sitting down and doing nothing all day, because Mars actually represents every single action you take during the day, from brushing your teeth to getting dressed to making dinner to going to work. Anything that you do, you have to utilize Mars energy to get it done. When Mars karmas are positive in a chart, there is strength, leadership skills, a daring nature, quick to action, but selfless in that action, helping those who are weaker. Good timing, strategy, planning, excellent leadership skills that draw people to you. You are esteemed in society. You are a master builder, and you face any situation in life, no matter how adverse, with courage in your heart, and you come out of it in one piece because of this positive aspect. On the other hand, when Mars karmas are negative in a chart, there is selfish desire, aggression when frustrated, violence, anger, reckless thoughts, words, and reckless actions, often leading sometimes to accidents and trauma. There is a complete lack of patience. The difference then between the sign and house position of Mars is very important. The sign shows the Mars energies which you have used past lives. How much courage have you developed? Have you been selfless or selfish in your actions? So many factors can be seen, but the house position of Mars will show you the very area where this action which you have performed last life is going to be coming back to you as reactions in this very life. It's tremendously important to check the D9 position also of Mars. The Navamsa is the highest potential dharmically, and Mars ultimately has a potential for high moral dharmic action. So even if the D1 Mars is debilitated or in some way afflicted, Mars in your D9 can save the day. Always check both positions to get deepest understanding. Finally, if you have Mars retrograde in your chart, there are powerful karmas that need immediate rectification in your life. You must check on my channel soon, coming up, a playlist of all retrograde planets to see the specific example of what Mars represents. But on this very video, every sign indication will apply equally to retrograde Mars as to a Mars direct in motion. So let's begin with Mars in Aries. So, if you are born with Mars in Aries, Mars is most powerful in his karmas in your chart. Mars in his own sign of Aries shows past life karmas connected probably to even warlike situations or situations of great conflict which required courage and daring, and you developed these qualities. You must see the degree of Mars. It's very important. The higher he is, the older he is, and he's a bit of a worn out warrior. So when he gets to maybe 27, 8, 9 Aries, Mars has done that stuff. He's been the warrior. He's been that winner. He's been that daring being. And now he's just a little bit tired, but he's still got that courage inside when the critical moment arises. And this is really what I've seen Mars in Aries is all about. It's the quick action, the fast action, the absolute knowledge of what to do in the moment that is so helpful and inspiring to other people. Mars in Aries makes you a leader. You're not a team player. You've got to do things on your own. You like to encourage others. You may be military. You may be in army situation, or you may be a leader in any sphere at all, but you are very much looked up to and admired. One thing about Mars in Aries, though, is this unrestrained desire for adventure, for change, for novelty. It's not so much new things as exciting things. You love excitement. You are very sexual. You are very driven by your passions very, very often, and you have to see how Venus is placed to see if this is actually going to cause you some difficulty or not. But you can be egotistical as well, and some people may think of you as a little bit headstrong rather than admiring you, depending on the aspects. But at the heart of heart, you are moral. You are very competitive, but you are honest. So there can be no doubt what you are thinking. Mars in Aries will never beat around the bush. You come straight to the point. And this desire to tell what is in your heart can be difficult for some people to hear. But there is no doubt that you have stamina and daring, particularly, as I say, with an earlier degree of this Mars, enormous stamina, a very sporty person. Even if you maybe don't like to take part in sport, you normally like to watch at least one sport. You are very competitive in nature. You like to win, and you like to see your team winning or the person you are supporting winning. You are always wanting things to move forward in the direction of your desire. But one thing I have most definitely seen here, you see, Mars is that quick, fast action, and if afflicted, he most definitely can give accidents in this sign. Mars is going to lead to scars on your body. I haven't seen hardly any Mars in Aries people who do not have some sort of scar, particularly on the head area or face area sometime. Finally, Mars in Aries is never deterred by the obstacles of life. This is your greatest resource. You will always fight for what you want. You will always come out on top of the most terrible, restricting situations in life. So no matter what life throws at you, to have Mars in Aries is a tremendous boon, because you are the fighter par excellence. You fight for yourself and you fight for those you love. You definitely are a winner in life. Mars in Taurus then. Mars in the sign of Venus. Now the first thing to say is that Mars is not totally happy to be in a sign ruled by luxurious Venus. Mars is the god of war, don't forget. Venus is luxuriating, having a sensual time in life, and this distracts from the purpose at hand. What's happening is past life factors connected to Mars have been sensual, have been very much sexual, and indeed possessive around relationship issues. You have to see aspects to Mars. If Mars is afflicted, there was definite past life relationship factors here which are going to come to the fore again. So what's happening in this lifetime is that your possessive nature, which is often jealous, is going to interfere with relationship factors. Now, again, if there is affliction to Mars, it's going to be much more troublesome. If there isn't, it will be a mild factor only, but it will be there. You tend to cling on to people. You're very fond of your family, fond of home affairs in some way, and you like to be in control of them. Mars in Taurus is going to give you a very sensual nature, very sexual, and very artistic nature. You can be very much focused on artistic factors like art, music, etc., and you can make money from them also, some of you. But you see, we're coming back again to the relationship factor, because Mars rules Aries, which is the 12th sign from Taurus, and Scorpio, which is the 7th sign. So it really is all to do with other people in your life inflaming your passions. You can become, well, really angry, but slowly angry. You don't get angry quickly, but when you do, you completely lose it. Because relationships are super sensitized by this position, and sometimes you feel that you don't have the control over your relationships that you would like. Don't forget, Mars wants to feel in control. He's the army general. Don't forget, Kartikeya. So he doesn't like to be controlled by other people. But sometimes your sensual, possessive nature puts you into other people's power. You are aware of this and you just do not fully trust it. Sometimes you get involved easily with people from foreign cultures because Aries is 12th sign from Mars, attracting you to foreign spouse. That can sometimes be seen occasionally here. But here's the main thing once again. Mars in Taurus is affecting your speech, because Taurus is the 2nd sign of the zodiac about speech. So often Mars gives a harshness to your speech. You have to watch what you say. You can be very forthright, and sometimes you just don't think before you speak, and harsh words can be coming forth, which can be hurtful. You have to watch this. If there is affliction to Mars, it's definitely going to happen. Another factor often seen is that Mars inflames eating and drinking, because Taurus rules these and actually Mars inflames them. So you can be a little bit out of control with your eating and drinking if Mars is afflicted. There can be weight gain, there can be compulsive eating, or even eating disorders for some people. But most importantly, let's get to the real positive factors now, because you know, Taurus is about material gain. Mars is going to give you great strength here. You are going to be able to accumulate a good deal of material wealth. Mars goes all out for this in this lifetime for you. You could be very good stock market business person. You could be accountant, anybody dealing with money, if this Mars is in any way connected to your 10th house. So you are very good at making money work for you, and wealth can definitely be found with this Mars position. Finally, Mars in Taurus definitely increases your determination in life. Just like a bull, you are always going at things full on to get what you want, and you do it in a slow, plodding way for sure, but this is what assures your success. Mars in Taurus never gives up. Mars in Taurus will push forward no matter what the obstacles, rain and shine. This level of huge determination is magnificent for you in many areas of life for sure. So Mars in Gemini is an interesting position for Mars. On the surface of it, Mars and Mercury are not friends. It would seem to be a difficult one, but that's not often the case. It can give many talents and many good factors in life. But the past life factors are a bit contradictory, because Mars in this Mercury sign shows a restless past life, shows a real difficulty settling down. It shows quarrelsome factors and many family issues like sibling issues which have not been settled, and in this very lifetime the karmas around siblings are very strong indeed. You see, Mars inclines to either one or two scenarios here: a very close, almost symbiotic relationship with a sibling, where it's almost like a twin, in fact, even though you are not twins, but you spend so much time together, Or there's a competition, because Mars is competition with a sibling which dominates your whole life. Now, this restless energy can definitely impact in your career if Mars is in any way connected to your 10th house, or even relationships sometimes if Mars connects to your 7th house. But here's the thing, you're just a restless person. You're always looking out for the new. You're always looking for new opportunities, new vistas. Travel is probably your number one thing in life. Mars in Gemini just loves to be on the next plane, the next boat, whatever it is, you want to be on it. You are never satisfied till you've seen almost every place in the world, according to your economic circumstances, obviously. But you certainly want to find out about foreign cultures, foreign places, and you are intellectually curious about people from different parts of the world. You are certainly not a stick-at-home type in any way. Now, this highly strung and restless nature can definitely affect your mental stability. If there is an affliction to this Mars in Gemini, and if Mercury is also involved or afflicted, there can be instability, anxiety, even depression sometimes, and there can be a great deal of difficulty focusing on any goal at hand. Mars in Gemini can also give many long lifetime friends, because Aries is the 11th house from Gemini, pulling people to you to support you in every way. The only negative factor really which you have to watch for is in business affairs. Although you are a very successful business person often, and very, very cleverly able to wheel and deal, Mars is also the ruler of Scorpio, which is the 6th house from Gemini. So conflicts and litigations and all sorts of underhand factors can sometimes be seen in your business dealings. Your workplace is never a simply straightforward situation. But Mars in Gemini, you are able to deal with these conflicts very well. If you are not the boss, if you are a worker, you can definitely feel this conflict. You can get into a great deal of conflict with your co-workers, also because of this Mars Scorpio factor. Finally, health aspects can be affected by Mars in Gemini because of the high level of stress you carry in your body. If you do not deal with this, they will impact. Particularly, it's been seen on the cardiovascular system here. Mars can harden arteries sometimes. You want to watch about that. That's true for everybody. But in this sign, because stress is so high, you need to find relaxation technique. Meditation, if you can find that, would most certainly help you. The issue is, of course, that Mars in Gemini find it hard to keep still in your mind. You find it hard to focus the mind. Therefore, very often Mars in Gemini, just like Mars in Sagittarius, can be really talented in some particular sport. Particularly, I found for some reason ball games of all sorts, Mars in Gemini have tremendous skill. So this sporting activity might be your method of stress reduction after all. So Mars in Cancer in the sign of the moon. This is debilitated position of Mars because the exalted position is Capricorn. But strangely enough, Mars does not get debilitated. How do you debilitate the warrior, the god of war? You can't do it. So actually, Mars in Cancer is the strongest, or one of the strongest, and certainly a great position to have Mars. Past life incarnation factors are going to come down to family quarrels, family issues. You will find that your family of origin has quite a lot of upset in it, quite a lot of contention, separation issues, all sorts of family issues which dominate your consciousness, particularly if you have Mars in Kendra, like 1st, 4th, 7th or 10th. This is definitely going to be seen. So you bring a real awareness with you of family cohesiveness or the lack of it, and it tempers everything which you do in this life. So why is Mars in Cancer so great? It's because the moon and Mars are good friends to each other. Mars is the son of Mother Earth Bhumi, not the same as the moon Chandra, but the idea is that the Mars energy combines well with the moon energy, with the material necessities of everyday life, of dealing with home, family, career factors, progress in life, health aspects. Mars gets on with these full on. So Mars in Cancer, in this material sense, is extremely helpful. There are issues though, because if Mars is afflicted here, and if Moon, particularly Moon, is not strong by sign, then there can be emotional excess, oversensitivity, and really this knee-jerk reaction, which is coming from a very strong emotional and volatile inner nature. But let's start with the real positives here. Mars in Cancer makes an expert business person. Mars in Cancer makes an expert cook, an expert domestic organizer. Mars in Cancer makes a manager par excellence. You know how to manipulate factors to get the best, particularly materially and financially. Mars in Cancer can be financially extremely strong indeed. You are resolute, you are independent, you are determined to do things in your way. The issue is, as I'm going to talk about, when your emotions get involved and things get a little bit out of control. But if Mars has good aspects here, you are an excellent master builder. You can build a business empire from nothing at all. You can build a very secure family. Your family is so important to you, and you're an excellent caretaker, whether you are male or female, of your family unit. In fact, you are very patriotic, very attached to your country of origin also. You will fight to the death for your country, fight to the death for your family. You will leave no stone unturned to be a protector of you and yours. At heart, though, Mars in Cancer is an emotionally volatile position, and it can go either way depending on the dignity of the moon. The stronger is the moon, the less will this Mars fall prey to this over-emotional nature. So Mars in Leo is a most powerful position indeed, a fire sign where Mars feels very comfortable, serving the sun, serving the king. This means that in past lives you were a great servant to the good of society. You were a very loyal and honest person, and you were very courageous in many circumstances. Some of you may have had authority over others as well. So in this very life, Mars in Leo is going to make you a tremendously powerful-willed person. You are able to get on with any task in your own unique way. You have tremendous confidence and inner belief in your own being. You are not afraid of any situation. You put yourself into the limelight willingly, and very often you enjoy attention. Now, this can make you a great actor, a person who is very confident on the stage and in a public showman or showwoman position. But Mars in Leo is also very favorable for the romantic aspects of life. You see, Leo is a natural fifth house, so you enjoy the courtship phase of romance tremendously. You are extremely chivalrous, extremely like a knight in shining armor, whether you're male or female, really. You love the thrill of romance, and that thrill stays with you all of your life. If you have an ill aspect in Mars, though, this can give a tempestuous factor in your main relationship sometimes. But if Mars is strongly placed, well aspected, you bring romance into your long-term relationship, and this can only be favorable. I've also seen Mars in Leo passionate defenders of others who are weak in society. You can be the savior of people in difficult situations. You are extremely generous, extremely charitable, and always wanting to help whenever you can, for sure. Now, the downsides of this position, when there is affliction to Mars in Leo, are that you are very obstinate, you are very stubborn, you are very fixed in your ideas. You can be extremely argumentative, and this can disturb relationships most definitely. Mars in Leo is very focused on your own goals in life. You can be, under affliction, egotistical, self-centered at the worst case. But in general, that's not seen, because Mars in Leo is a a helpful and generous factor mostly. So working with this Mars in Leo, you have a lot of fire, a lot of energy to focus on your goals. If this Mars is going to take you somewhere in life, the one thing you have to watch out for is impatience, because when there are obstacles in your path, you can lose it. So trying to cultivate that is most definitely going to help. So when Mars is in the sign of Virgo in your chart, this is quite a contradictory position because Mercury and Mars are not friends. So just like Mars in Gemini, there's a struggle in your psyche with this position because past life there was a lot of conflict. Mars in Virgo shows that because Mars is the 8th lord from Virgo, natural zodiac, Aries, you have experienced some trauma and some conflict past life, which gives you great caution in dealing with these factors, but it's made you expert at dealing with conflict. Yes, in this life, Mars in Virgo has an eye for mechanical detail. You could be a very good DIY person. You know how to fix things which are broken. You're very good at dealing with all the minute details of life. You have a great analytical eye. Therefore, you're a very good researcher. You're a very studious person, very capable of going into depth in any subject. Mars will definitely aid academic career here because of your attempts to find out factors. You learn more as you research and vice versa. So Mars can take you to the top of any academic field here. But the factor is that Mars is hypercritical here. And when the criticism is turned on other people or even on yourself, it can unfortunately become negative. However, on the whole, Mars in Virgo is not overtly aggressive. You go about your daily tasks in a very understated way. You're not in anybody's face. You're not getting anybody's back up generally. But you're also very keen to be soft-spoken and very much about agreeing with other people as much as you can. The trouble is, sometimes you just can't stop that critical nature. And particularly in relationships, it could become negative. You like a job as well, which keeps you on the go mentally. It has to be a mental challenge to you or you become definitely bored. You like to solve puzzles. You like to find why things aren't working and why things are not working, as I say. So any career which keeps you dealing with new factors, new puzzles, new problems is definitely good for you. So this could be anything. It could be detective work. It could be scientific factors, teaching, analytical work. It could even be solicitor, accounting, where there's always some new problem that needs to be solved on the spot. You're the person to do that. Finally, Mars in Virgo also makes you hyper-vigilant about cleanliness in life. This could be personal cleanliness or your house cleanliness or even the environmental factors in the world. You can be a warrior for the environment as well. You're very concerned with purity, with bringing everything back to a state of stability and purity. So you're a perfectionist for sure. You're a warrior for the factors that make our daily life work. You're a great helpmate to society. So Mars in Virgo, though it can make you hypercritical and make you a worrier for sure because you grind things over in your mind almost constantly, you are a great help to the planet, a great help to the world. Just make sure that you don't let the criticism turn on yourself and see faults where there are no faults at all. So Mars in Libra is in the sign of Venus again, just like Mars in Taurus. This is a neutral position for Mars because Venus and Mars are not actually good friends, but they're not enemies either. So Mars in Libra is in a very compromised position. It's the opposite to Mars in Aries, his own sign. It's the 7th sign from Aries. So your whole focus has been past life on relationships, on some very difficult relationship situations in which you had to deal with. There may have been violence in these relationships. There may have been a lot of trauma, and you come with this memory in your mind. So your goal in this life is to avoid this at all costs. Yes, Mars in Libra is seeking harmony in all relationships through compromise and diplomacy. This can make you a very charming person. If you have Mars well placed, well aspected, my goodness, you're the really popular person in your friendship circle sometimes. You bring people together. You seek to make harmony, to stop arguments and contentions in your friendships and indeed in your family. You're the one who brings everyone together. You are also a fighter for social justice, but in a very low-key way. The problem with the fighting skill of Mars in this Libra sign is that you have an inner fear of asserting yourself too much, of going over the top. You hate aggression. You seek to avoid it. You even fear it, as I say, due to past life factors. And this Mars can have a low energy level sometimes also because it's opposite to Aries. Even sometimes a low sex drive, but many other factors can change that for sure. What's happening is that worst case scenario, you become over compromising. You become a bit detached from these emotional situations in your life, and it creates disharmony rather than harmony. And sometimes I've also seen with Mars in Libra a real difficulty in actually taking a final step in any situation because you want to please everybody. There's a lack of conviction, a real fear that you're losing out if you go this way, that way. This can stalemate your career. This can stalemate many factors in your life. And indeed, because of this over-compromising nature sometimes, Mars in Libra can lead you to have hidden anger problems. Because your anger and your frustration is hidden, it can even lead to illness and difficulties in your mental state. So you have to be aware of that. It's not a big thing because in general, Libra is obviously a very balanced sign. But nonetheless, you have to be aware of your own needs as much as other people's. Yes, Mars in Libra in relationships, particularly if it aspects 7th house or has anything to do with your spousal house in your chart, is going to lead to some contention because you don't express your needs properly. Or if you do, you are just compromising. You're not really showing what you want. So you're going to have to work with this. You're going to have to work with this need of pleasing everybody to don't forget to please yourself as well. Or in the end, who are you really pleasing? It's a false compromise in that sense. Finally, Scorpio's rulership of the 2nd house from Libra means that family conflict is almost guaranteed with this Mars, and you are the one normally who has to sort it out. So again, it's a bit of a burden on you that you have to take on so many other people's problems. It's purely karmic. If this Mars is in any way connected to your 10th house, be absolutely certain that your career must involve some sort of public relations. You work so well when you are the public face of any corporation. You're a very attractive and pleasing personality, and therefore you do your absolute best when you are in these sort of jobs. So Mars in Scorpio, Mars in his own sign, is tremendously powerful. Just like Mars in Aries, Mars is comfortable here. But here's the factor. Mars is not so comfortable in the element of water. So the factors of Scorpio, like secrecy, jealousy, possessiveness, do not always act in the interest of the general of the army. But one thing for sure, the will is tremendously strengthened here. There probably is no stronger will in the zodiac than Mars in Scorpio. Where's it coming from? The past life karmic factor is here. Past life, you've had to deal with tremendously difficult, even traumatic situations, and dealing with them has developed a most tremendous tenacity of will. This makes you highly independent. No one can tell you what to do. You are all out for your own goals and what you have to do in life with a real focus, a real fixity, a real stubborn purpose. You're extremely proud and dignified. People look up to you and you are the most excellent leader. You're particularly, if this is a 10th house connected Mars in any way, particularly suited to factors where you have to dig deep for secrets in life, even surgery, medicine, and some sort of journalism where you are on the cutting edge of maybe war zones. You like danger, you like to stretch yourself, and you love to investigate. You are definitely attracted to psychology, definitely to all occult knowledge, and you can have real success in these studies. If this Mars is afflicted, however, there can be real power struggles that become negative in your life sometimes. You have a do or die attitude. You're never going to give up on a conflict. And as I say, you do tend to attract enemies because Mars from Aries, you see, Aries is your 6th house, so Mars is also influencing conflicts and litigation factors, so you do end up in some pretty tricky situations. But the good news, you come out of them okay. In the end, Mars in Scorpio is a winner. Mars in Scorpio is not a loser. So the key to success of Mars in Scorpio is being totally moral and above board in all of your actions, because you will attract criticism and sometimes disrepute. Why does this happen? Because of your great magnetic personality. You are so forceful, so dynamic, so attractive, sometimes so mysterious that people don't know what's going on with you, and this makes them have a little bit of enmity to you. So as long as you are aware of this, nothing will stop your success for sure. It's a highly successful dynamic position for Mars. So Mars in the sign of Sagittarius is actually very well placed because Mars is the warrior. He's the chief general of the army, Kartikeya. He is actually fighting for the guru, Jupiter, and this is a sign of Jupiter. Plus Sagittarius is a sign of the battlefield itself. So Mars feels entirely comfortable in this sign. The past life indications were that a great deal of your energy went into philosophical systems or religious systems of belief, and you carry this energy with you in this lifetime. So you pick up on this immediately from a very young age. If you have a strongly aspected Mars, you are a definite philosopher, a debater, a religious person for sure. But if there is afflictions, then it may go into different areas of life. You could end up in politics, most certainly, with this Mars, because you know how to argue your case. You know how to put forth ideas in a highly understandable way. At heart, you see, Mars here is a teacher, a guru, as well as a fighter. So a Sagittarian Mars, if well aspected, gives you the most tremendous courage to overcome obstacles in your life. You overcome obstacles through wisdom. It is your wisdom and your knowledge that is your greatest asset at all times. You love to travel. Movement and freedom are the definite factors here. If anything constrains you, if there is an ill aspect from Saturn and there are any constraining factors in your life, you will feel it keenly. You need to be free. You need to be on the move. You love to travel to foreign lands, obviously, but you just need to be on the go generally. You like to feel free and unfettered at all times. But what a debater is Mars in Sagittarius. There is fire in your voice. There is a conviction in what you say. You're the sort of person who stands up there and converts people to your system of belief. You are so passionate and so convincing. If there is affliction to Mars in this sign, you're definitely going to find it hard in any monotonous situation. This can be relationship-wise or it can be job-related. You do not like a boring, mundane, day-to-day routine. And if this Mars is in any way connected to your 10th house, you need a varied career, something where you can use your high intelligence and wisdom at all times. It's important to remember that from this sign, Mars rules the 12th house in Scorpio. So from time to time, Being a warrior in the sign of the battlefield, Mars will attract enemies. But the factor here is secret enemies. Mars in Sagittarius is a very open, honest, forthright person. You would be surprised at the amount of secret enmity you can sometimes attract. This is purely karmic. So if you have planets in Scorpio, this will be definitely the case. But because Mars is in the sign of Jupiter Guru, this is a fortunate factor. And in the end, none of these secret enemies can harm you. You come out on top. You are the winner of the battle of life. With your forthright, truthful, honest nature, you are a winner for sure. Mars in the sign of Capricorn is in an exalted position in the Vedic system. You might think that Mars and Saturn are enemies and that this would be a detrimental factor, but this is not so. Mars is exalted here because he exalts the Saturn qualities of hard work, determination, and ambition to the highest levels possible. This means that actually past lives you work tremendously hard to attain in a very patient and systematic way. So in this life you are given the absolute joy of Mars in Capricorn, by which you can attain your ambitions most certainly. Mars in Capricorn will definitely take you to the top of any career area. Your ambitions can be fulfilled because of your great determination. This sign is never put off by any obstacles. They keep on going through it, and they have great ability to discipline themselves. In fact, it is the discipline and the hard work, the ability to keep on going no matter what, that creates success. This is particularly successful in the business area, corporate world. You can go right to the top of these organizations. Great wealth and prominence are often associated with Mars in Capricorn. Saturn's ambition and determination is fired up by Mars here to work long hours. I mean, there is no lack of ability to work here. In fact, what I would say and what I've seen about Mars in Capricorn is they cannot abide the idea of not working day and night. Without work, they lack a purpose in life. Their work keeps them alive, and it's really hard for them to actually retire. They just need to have the purpose and stimulation of a job of some sorts, but they need to be going somewhere with it. They are independent workers. They like to be the boss. And they can be excellent people to support a large crew of employees. They know how to keep order. They know how to keep things moving forward. The thing about Mars in Capricorn, however, is that Saturn adds a little bit of harshness to Mars sometimes. Where there is affliction to Mars in Capricorn, there can be a harsh tone, an aggressive element that can make them actually a very difficult boss to work for sometimes. The thing is that they find it hard to keep their feelings to themselves. They really find it hard to cut out the criticism when they feel it is necessary, because they give all. They give so much hard work and so much discipline, they cannot understand when other people cannot do the same. Another factor seen with Mars in Capricorn, a little surprising because it's not a fire sign, it's not a movable earth sign, but the ambition of Capricorn requires fitness. And I've often seen that Mars in Capricorns are tremendously fit people, inverted commas. They have a routine, they have a physical discipline of some sort that sustains them throughout life. This can be anything from yoga, karate, any sort of physical sport. But it's often not about sport as much as toning their own bodies. Why are they so obsessed with this physical fitness? Because they have to be ready for the battle of life. Scorpio from Capricorn is ruling the 11th house of friendship and network circles. So Mars in Capricorn, particularly with affliction, can often find itself in conflict with friends from time to time. There can be a real turnover of friends, one close friend and then another close friend at various times in your life, because conflicts develop deep down because of your competitive nature. Mars also rules Aries in the 4th house, so home situations, family life can have conflict in them. Also because of this Mars position. But once again, it's all to do with the fact that you are looking to stay in control of everything and to manipulate things for your benefit. Ultimately, though, Mars in Capricorn makes you a success in life, someone that people look up to and admire. And once again, the key factor is the ability to discipline yourself, to put yourself under any routine, so you're able to set an example to other people without doubt. Now, Mars in another Saturn sign, Aquarius, is completely different to Capricorn, because Mars in Aquarius is motivated by the group norm, by the collective, not by the individual ambition. And this changes the whole agenda. Mars as a warrior is a little bit restrained in this sign. He finds himself in a little bit of frustration. But nonetheless, there are many areas of life in which Mars in Aquarius is definitely going to help you. What's happening is, past life, you've been very much involved in politics, very much involved in serving the public good, serving the greater good. And you come into this life with a great need to be of service to humanity. But sometimes you can overstep the mark in this. It can go wrong, because the problem is that Aquarius is also ruled by Rahu. So checking out the aspects of Saturn and Rahu in your chart will help you to see how this Mars is going to work out for you. The most positive side is that just like Rahu is all about the future, science, invention, this Mars in Aquarius is superb for any scientific career. You are expert at seeing the new. You are expert at scientific research and exploration without doubt. You can go very far in these areas with this Mars. You are absolutely a freedom lover in your heart. You want freedom for all beings. You can be most compassionate. You can be a fighter for animal rights, human rights, all sorts of situations in which social justice is involved. You are mostly involved in these factors. But here's the problem. Mars is in a fixed sign. Mars cannot move freely, even if he wants that freedom in this sign. What I've seen is that Mars in Aquarius gives a certain frustration that things are not moving on in your life as quickly as you would like. You are finding that you have to regulate yourself, slow down far more than you would like to many times in your life. But because Mars is in a fixed sign, you without doubt will have great determination in all of your goals. And the selflessness of this Mars is very important. Sometimes you may not gain public recognition as much as you would like. Sometimes you will actually feel passed over personally if this is an afflicted Mars. And this can lead to frustration and negativity. You have to watch out for that, because Mars in Aquarius is here to serve humanity. Another factor most certainly found is that Mars here also rules the fourth house from Aquarius. There can be hidden emotions, a great difficulty expressing emotions, particularly in sexual relationships and intimate relationships also. But so much more to be seen in your chart in that regard. So summarizing then, Mars in Aquarius is definitely going to give you success in corporate and large ventures and in any scientific endeavor. You work well with the masses. You work well in large groups. You become popular among friendship circles. But you've got to watch out for those hidden emotions, for that difficulty expressing your needs in life. You see, Mars here is hindered by Saturn, not helped, because Mars does not like to be in a sign connected with humanity when he is really concerned with the warrior factor of fighting a battle unimpeded. So much going on around you seems to impede you many times, and you have to try to develop patience with this Mars in Aquarius, because in the end you have a special skill to bring to humanity. You are here to aid and to help humanity moving forward, maybe in politics sometimes, maybe in social movements, but selflessly you are here to perform this task most certainly. Mars in Pisces. Once again, Mars is in the sign of his great friend Guru, Jupiter. He is able to fight the righteous war again in this sign. The problem is it's a water sign. There is deep emotion, and this can be a little bit hampering. What it means for Mars is that past life karmas here were very much about philosophical system, but in a secretive way, in a hidden way, in a more internal way, fighting for the space for your own spirituality to occur. There was a fight to gain spiritual truth, realization. And once you get into this life and become aware of your spiritual path in life, you are once again prepared to lay down the weapons to fight for your freedom, to pursue these beliefs. So Mars makes you a warrior for spirituality, a warrior for truth in every way. You are entirely compassionate, benevolent, and caring to all beings because Mars here makes you care for the underdog. You are a very charitable, generous, giving person. You give all of your energy to help other people. Depending on where this Mars is actually placed, you can make a career out of this. You can become a charity boss, somebody working in a caring field. Whatever it is, you're not happy to work unless you feel that you are benefiting others. You are most definitely not selfish, not self-motivated with this Mars. Now, just like Mars in the other Jupiter sign, Sagittarius, Mars in Pisces needs movement to work. Your energy level is increased when you are traveling. When you are on the move, you feel enthused and happy in life. You hate to be restricted. You hate to be tied down. Foreign lands are essential to you. You need to travel widely. Unless Mars is terribly afflicted, you will definitely go to foreign lands. Many of you will live there because your energy, as I say, is increased by the cultural change. You like to see different cultures. You like to see different philosophical belief systems in action as well. You are searching for a deep feeling of connectiveness, and you will only get that in foreign land. Mars in Pisces can also give some conflict with family because Aries is second house from Pisces. And this is in many ways why Mars in Pisces people end up in foreign lands. For some reason, they have to escape from family conflict. This can sometimes be seen. Again, you have to see aspects to Mars to get the actual true story here. But Mars in Pisces can be incredibly artistic. I mean, this is one of the most creative Marses in the zodiac. When the Mars energy is utilized correctly, there is an intense imaginative factor here. Very empathetic. So one thinks of novelists and all of these creative screenwriters and so on who can definitely benefit from this Mars in Pisces. The problem for Mars in Pisces is that Mars's warrior-like energy has become dispersed. Therefore, although Mars is keen to fight for his spiritual truth and absolutely keen to help everybody who is underprivileged, in the actual execution of this, there can be some disturbance. What tends to happen is that your emotions get in the way of the conduct of your daily life. Mars in Pisces can quite frankly be a little bit spaced out. You really find it hard to focus on the actual task right in front of you because your mind is so creative and always finding some new factor bringing to the fore. So focus on the everyday task, focus on discipline, routine is really difficult with this Mars. In fact, this element of being a little bit unfocused and always off to the next factor in life doesn't always deter from your happiness in life because you're such an easygoing person at heart. You are always prepared to give people slack, and therefore people are very generous towards you too. You gain help from other people with this Mars in Pisces because you have given in your past life so much. It comes back to you in this life too. So don't forget to check out Mars in all the houses of your chart. Be up in my channel very soon. And sub to my channel also if you haven't already. Goodbye for now and God bless everyone.